So when you've been part of this hobby for a while, you kind of it's weird. People assume you know everything. And then you start missing out on some great gems because it's like, oh yeah, Josh knows about this. And one area that's kind of weird, but it's like been a hole in mine is Frazetta. Huge fan of Frazetta. Love his work. The problem is, I don't know where a lot of his work is for. Prime example, Woman with Sickle for Vampirella. Oh, okay. Cover of Eerie. Hmm. Cover of Eerie. Cover of Creepy. All these are what's known as the Warren Mags. All these are produced by Dark Horse. And today, I'm here to yell at Dark Horse. Why am I here to yell at Dark Horse? Well, I actually decided to go down the rabbit hole and get some Warren Mags. This stuff is great, and I'm pissed off no one told me about it. So, yeah, let's be pissed off together. Especially, I mean, look at that. Look at that chunker. No one, not a single person was like, hey, maybe we should tell Josh. So, like I kind of said in the intro, big Frazetta fan. This was a Frazetta book I got, I swear, back in college. And the thing with Frazetta, he did a lot of paperbacks, but it never dawned on me to really kind of look up where these paperbacks were from. Like I said, it was just like, oh, I was more like amazing pieces of art. And I'm upset with myself too, because, like I said, great collection here. Fast forward a little bit, and this is me picked up this Alex Toth one of Creepy. Didn't give it much thought because I'm a huge Toth fan, and I definitely know we'll go deep diving in, especially into this book. A lot of great black and white stories. All so this one was interesting because with Toth, there's horror, but then there's Toth horror. It's not like sometimes it's blood and guts. Other times, it's more cerebral. Well, not cerebral, but it's not what I would call like classic gothic horror. It's not like, oh, this is horror. But a lot of great stories. But like I said, never gave it much thought because I'm like, oh, it's an Alex Toth book. Well, I then started to learn a little bit more about him, and last year I was lucky enough to really reignite my Burning Rights in Love, and I found this one, and I don't know if you can tell this book. Yeah, this book's seen a little bit of love before it got to me, which I'm fine with. Insides are fine, and if you're in this hobby long enough, I do recommend like learning how to repair some books. But same thing, like great collection of all Wrightson, but at the same time, it's like okay, I've just got the tote, I got the Wrightson. Well, some gorgeous stuff, gorgeous collection, and technically these are back in print paperback right now. But I was like, let's give it a shot. So I decided to get this one, and man, this was a lot of fun. If you're a big EC fan, I have to say I think the Warrens are better, and the reason I think they're better, it's Silver and Bronze Age art, so you actually get like more space, like more room for the art to breathe. And they come in these nice little these paperbacks, which are the magazine size. Great build. But I have to say, like, kind of was on the fence. What really sold me though, this chunker. These are two of these guys in one. This is 25 bucks. This is 35 retail. And man, I wish Dark Horse did this from the beginning. Like I said, I just kind of picked out a few of my favorites here, and we're going to take a look at these. But one thing, and I think Dark Horse, when people are like, "Are you a Marvel or DC guy?" It's like I'm a Dark Horse guy. Love this publisher. Certain things I hate with Dark Horse. I know if a book comes out, get it before it goes. Second it's gone, it's gone forever. Or, you might get a paperback version, which I get. I do understand with them. But the thing that kind of pisses me off with this, if you were relaunching this, it's like, why not chat with Omar? Why not like push this book? And I feel like this is the problem with a lot of, especially older comics. It's like, oh, everyone knows what the Warren Mags are. It's like, no. I was born in '86. By the time I got around to comics, these were long gone. So I do like quick recommendation. Hell yeah! Especially the cool thing is you can pick up any one of these. I don't know if I'll get a full collection. I would like to, part of me would love to, but it's just reality, especially with Dark Horse. It's hard to say. That said, though, I know each one of these, I'm probably going to find something to enjoy. So let's get into this. Now, I'm not only a YouTube host, but I'm also a professional comic book artist and a self publisher of my own story, Bang the Battle of the Tiger. Kung Fu inspired fantasy. So instead of a guy with a big sword, woman with a boot. Now, I'm actually working on chapter 23 as this comes out, and I want you all to check this out. Since it's all my creation, you can actually read the first 16 chapters free on my site. How much is 16 chapters? Like what, 5 pages? Each one, 24 pages. Comics, all there. So yeah, something I'm proud of, something I put a lot of effort into, something I hope you check out. So anyway, thanks again, and check out my site, which, spelling should be down here this whole time. Thanks, yo. So I'm gonna do my best not to shake the camera too much. This is a chonker. I picked this up because it was the first double. Like, these are kind of random. The only thing I do want to point out, I just got this, but there's already like a little bit of wear and tear on this cover. Like, not the end of the world, but it hasn't even been on the shelf yet. So, like I said though, you can tell how massive it is from that alone. So they do have an intro here, and then they have a bunch of the random issues. So what's interesting is most of this is black and white. Then it's like all the covers are always in color, and then whatever color inserts are in color. So whoever put this together definitely had a love of let's do that. And I picked these. I picked these mainly for the art. I don't want to like really go through the story beats and be like, ooh, because this one, a lot of these like are witches, ghouls, werewolves, vampires. Like I can't tell you how many are vampires. But this one's crazy with especially like the zipatone cutout here. And since this is all done by hand, because this was back in the 70s and such, it's interesting to see how they solve this problem with traditional tools. So, like I said, just this is what made me go like, oh, okay. And literally, this story is a woman's being hypnotized for her past life when she was a witch. There's always like a twist to these stories, but I mean, just look at the mark making here. Like, trying my best not to get like too much glare, but yeah, all the intricate like just razor blades. And then when you get these rich blacks in the modern day, like it really stands out. Like such a great way to tell storytelling. And this one took me out here because it's the shadow of the woman. I was like, oh my gosh, just insane. And like I said, the pure blacks, but this page especially, it's her walking out at night, going to the streets, and man, like this panel is such a bold. Like I hope to do something like that one day because it's just such a bold panel. And her prediction comes true, and it's one of those things. Like I said, they always kind of have that like story at the end. Also, you do have your horror host, Uncle Creepy. And it's fun seeing other people draw Uncle Creepy. This one was interesting too because this was medieval, but in the future. So with like robots and androids in this medieval setting, and man, another one like just the line making, the art, and I with my art because here I'll just grab Bang to show you real quickly. I love the grid. I work off the grid like it's just who I am. So it's always interesting to see these ones who abandon the grid, and it's like, man, there's things you can do, and just like I said, the line work, the texture, like robots and and dragons. It's like, oh, would love a whole series like this. And he actually ends up shooting himself. Like this always feels like it goes into darker. Like this definitely feels like stuff you'd want as a teenager. Like it's dark, but it's not too dark. It's not like too dark or serious. So I'm gonna skip forward. This is a preview, and man, I would love. I want this. The color choice alone, I'm like, who does color like this? Like all these greens and stuff, and then a little bit of red. Like, oh, but yeah, this took me out. Like just the green of her flesh, like the red. Oh, what's also crazy, it's seeing these colors in like the zip. Like I said, and it's like the way, to show light. Such a great answer. And this too, like, talk about a page layout. And this guy right here, like the blues, and oh, seriously, I need like a collection of this. And once again, yeah, a vampire story, but man, I've never seen a vampire story like this. And such like gorgeous. This too, like biting at the bat. And then nothing. I need this one. This one was a fun story. It's almost made the cut, but I decided, I'm like, oh, this one though, Bed of Roses. So this one's a like girl dealing with her past trauma, having a hard time with reality in her past. Oh, look at this. Like the use of textures and especially like her to the so gorgeous. And man, this one I had fun with because it's like panels like this where it's like all this gray, but then she's the white, so she stands out. And then like the only white here is the light in her eyes, like, and you can't really see it. It's a zipatone that circles out from here. And cropping, like the cropping down here, this panel I love. Like she is basically like a reverse silhouette. And then having like the reverse patterning to show like the shop. Same thing. You don't. It's like once you establish this, you don't have to establish much. And it's a horror mag, so we horror. But yeah, it's like, and I guess the other thing that's interesting, they show like her past trauma in different ways. You see like her point of view, it always feels like it's got those like rounded edges. And yeah, it's a fun, amazing, and this man, this face alone at the end. And that was one issue of creepy. Like, and I could talk about a lot of these. Like this one was crazy. The man with and like I said, it's easy to go through this and just be like every single one. This one though, another. Also, you're seeing the collection of bookmarks I have. A Scream in the Forest. This one is more fantasy based, but I mean, look at the lettering. Like, oh, and I also the other thing I love about this is fantasy before the Lord of the Rings, like before modern television, like Lord of the Rings and stuff. So it's like there's a certain element you don't see nowadays. And even like these creatures, these cyclops, like basically these cyclops are eating people, and this are these everyday man gets saved by this gorgeous hero, and like there's action, there's like yeah, it's a horror mag, but like this is straight up fantasy. And once again, like that like the use of drop and silhouette, like I almost if Frank Miller didn't look at this was definitely like behind. Like you swear this is how you get Sin City. The lighting effects, like just this one, I loved. I could have a whole collection of just this. And like I said, the interesting when you get rid of panel borders, you do some interesting stuff. And like this alone, whew, yeah, because this story I really dug. Once again, there's a twist. Turns out our hero's not so heroic. He was getting paid by them to like lure people in. But yeah, it's each issue's got X amount. Okay, this one, freedom is just another word. The art in this, like, it's a little more sketchy than I usually like, but it handles black and whites. This one though is oh, this one hit hard. It's about a black family that moves into this town. You get the sense it's like 1800, like late 1800s, and the town just straight up racist. Like it's not even a question. They're literally dropping hard slurs and blaming this town for all their ill wills, like drought, all this stuff. So they go and attack. There's a main like son. They attack him. Oh, the one of the townsman's daughters just talking to him, not even like flirting, just literally talking to this gentleman. And yeah, they go up and they're like massacre his whole family. The twist is the grandmother is a the witch and gets their comeuppance. But this was one where I was like, I kind of was waiting for the twist. I'm like, okay, when does this happen? And there really isn't a twist. Like, yeah, they kind of get the comeuppance, but it literally shows it shows a mob executing a family for being black. And like I said, this was set in the 70s, so you got they're just coming out of the civil rights movement, but it's like we haven't moved that far. And like I said, reading it in 2026 unfortunately hit really hard. Like wow. So I guess that's my point. Like you get goofy fun stories, but you also get some that are like, wow, this one hits hard. This collection also has a lot of like a good, not a lot, but a good amount of Corbin in it. Yeah, there's a big Corbin splash, and we will talk about a Corbin art. And like I said, like not everyone, like this cowboy one didn't do it to me. This one I don't want to spend a long time on, but man, talk about some crazy mark making. Like I don't think you can get away with this nowadays, but it's interesting. It's just crazy what like they were trying and throwing on the page. So yeah, if you are a cartoonist, I kind of recommend these just to see like different inspirations and stuff. This one was fun slash crazy. Tom Sutton with oh my gosh, why did I have to commit to this? Gulliver's Travels. Basically, they go to the island and there's vampires. It's kind of wacky. So skipping ahead, okay. I guess yep. Talking about Corbin. This, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get some flack. I'm not the biggest Corbin fan. I'm starting to warm up to him. It's a couple things like not to take him too seriously. And the big thing is, I first read him with Hellboy. I'm such a huge Hellboy fan, so to me, I'm like, this isn't Mignola. This one is a werewolf story, and it's just goofy. This guy is literally being like, hey, pay me, and I will develop a flea that has silver teeth that will kill a werewolf. You have all these jokes, and then you have this horrifying, like, werewolf attack. And I swear, like, this right here indicates more blood and gore than anything. And in some ways, it works a little better with the goofiness. And he's such a master of values because it's like, man, everyone's always like, oh, it's like it's interesting too because he uses airbrush in a way like oil painters. I like this scene with the colors too, but the werewolf transformation. So yeah, this is creepy number 11. And like I said, you get some of these stories are a product of their time. Some of them aren't the best, but I have to say, like, I had a hard time putting this down. It was fun seeing what's next. This was another good one. And the art and the mark making too, like that alone is worth the price of this. Like they're doing stuff in here that man, oh man, this one, the Bloodlock Museum, whew, more Corbin. So yeah, I've definitely ordered. I actually ordered my first Eries 13 and I believe 3. So, like I said, I don't know if I'll get all these, but man, and this is my current spot right here. But I can honestly say I'm a fan of these, and I'm upset I didn't know about these. So, if you, and the good thing though about this is you don't need the full collection. Now, granted, Dark Horse, you should probably try to get the full collection. But I love these big phone books, and I've kind of been missing a book like this that's like big, heavy, a little on the cheaper side that I can just kind of sink my teeth in and read a lot. So, like I said though, check out some Warren mags. So, have a good one, y'all.